After 2 years of preparing really, really hard, waking up every day at 4:30 a.m., heading off to tuitions on a local train, then heading off to a school, then continuing physics, chemistry, maths tuitions, and doing it every single day for 2 years, I failed to clear the IIT joint entrance exam. I also failed the West Bengal joints, the BIT Mesra, and my board results were not good enough to get me a seat in BITS Pilani. I felt like a failure. I questioned the purpose of life and if I should continue living. Thankfully, did okay post that. Managed to go through Karnataka CET, did engineering at PESIT, had a first job at Yahoo. In about 10 years from then, was the president of engineering at Flipkart and saw Flipkart scale from 80 lakh rupees a month to 8,000 crore rupees a month. When I look back at that time, I think about, was it important for me to have gone through all of those failures? Did those failures really, really make me strong? Is it important for us go on a path of success to experience these failures? And for a long time, I used to believe that my failures actually made me stronger. Till the time, about 8 years back, that I started working in education. When I started working in education, I realized that what I thought of as failures making me stronger were the reality for 99% of our students. So just like I took the IIT joint entrance exam last year, about 12 lakh kids took the IIT joint entrance exams, and only 1% made it through. About 13 lakh kids took the UPSC exam, and the pass percentage there was 0.2%. It seems eventual and obvious that only a few will make it through. But to think about an education system that is selecting just 1% and is designed to select just that 1%. Our young people keep writing exam after exam, year after year, to try and see if they could make it. But 99% of them don't. And they feel like failures. They feel like how I felt after failing through all of those exams. And they are entering the prime of their life, believing that they are good for nothing. Is that the only reality we can create? Can we create a better future where most of our young people believe that they can actually do well in life, they can create value in life, and not just for themselves, but for the country? There was an experiment in the summer of 2017 that made me believe that this is possible. This is the story of Salman. In 2017, in a school called Crystal House in North Bangalore, I worked with 37 kids. We designed a 6-week program, of which 4 weeks, the students were to do a business project of their choice. For the first 2 weeks, we worked with them to help them prepare for it. So on the day that the students were supposed to come up with the idea, I'm waiting with the rest of the class, and in walks this team of 8 students, led by this cheerful, bubbly leader, Salman, the only guy posing for the photo. And they proudly tell us that the business that they want to do is sell watermelons. I am deeply disappointed. After having worked with them for 2 weeks, if all I could inspire them to do was to sell watermelons, I had clearly failed. And I tried to dissuade them. I tried to ask them really, really hard questions. But they were hell-bent. No, we want to sell watermelon. I said, okay, fine. If that's what you want to do, go do it. On day 4 of the business, they had come in the morning at about 7:30, collected their money because these were kids coming from difficult backgrounds and they could not keep their own money at home. They collected their money and went for doing business. And they were supposed to come back by 3. At about 12:30, I see them coming back. My first worry as a teacher was, has an accident happened? Has somebody hurt them or abused them? But I see them coming closer and I see they are dancing and they are happy. So the worry goes away. It's quickly replaced by anger. Why are they coming back so soon? Shouldn't they be working till 3 o'clock? So they come in and I ask them, hey, what happened? And they say, we have met our goal for the week in the last 4 hours. And I'm surprised. How did you do it? Like, what made you do all of those sales in just a few hours? And they show me this, a yellow watermelon. Till the age of 36, I had never seen a yellow watermelon in my life before this. I didn't know it existed. And they tell me that it has medicinal values. So they had sold yellow watermelons like hotcakes and hence achieved their weekly targets. That day changed my life. It became possible for me to believe that you can innovate even when selling watermelon. That as you thought about problems, as you were trusted and you owned what you want to do, young people could go on to create brilliant futures. And that's the day that filled me with energy to go on and do this. And over the last 7 years, I've been working at it to get to now about 2.9 million students experiencing this trust, this belief that if they had the power to go and solve a problem, what would they do? And I think the results have been nothing short of magic. It's to see stories of what these young people are able to do. But to think about what is happening underneath, right? That as these young people go out in the real world, do business projects, identify problems, and then go and do sales and feel like victors and not feeling like failures after writing exams, what really happens to them? They are building these 4 key mindsets, which I call the entrepreneurial mindsets. First is independence, being able to think for yourself, being able to decide, being able to sell watermelon even when somebody much more senior is telling you not to not necessarily listen, or to follow just what your peers are doing. This is tough in a country where obedience is revered. This is tough in a culture where every teenager wants to do what the other one is doing. The second mindset is experimentation, failing, and learning from that failure. So trying something that may not work is hard, especially in a culture that values what is society going to think about so much. The third is grit. Grit is defined as perseverance to a future goal. Perseverance is there in plenty in India. Life in India is hard. Life in India for government school kids is very hard. So they persevere every day. I don't think I can teach them perseverance. But the idea of working to a future goal and not giving up and continuously trying and improving, that is something that kids can learn. And as they build this sense of grit, they go on to do more and more things. Finally, Atmagyan, or self-awareness. Young people learning about themselves and who they are, what gives them joy, what are their strengths, right? Age-old wisdom about what's the purpose of life. And as young people start understanding them a lot better, they are able to bring themselves out and express. I think of entrepreneurship or living as an expression. And these mindsets help these young people really express themselves. We feel that this has been possible because of these simple 4 learning principles. Learning by doing. Our education's far too theoretical and textbookish. Can we shift to more doing? In the real world, something that makes connection with life, with agency, where they have the choice, where they make the decisions and take the ownership and responsibility of those decisions and get out of comfort zone. Step out of what they already know, which is where learning really happens. So those 4 principles, we've been able to capture and make them happen for these 2.9 million kids. We're on our path to make a lot more happen. But here are a couple of stories of what I see already happening that gives me a lot of joy. So Ashish and his team started one of the most boring businesses, doing logistics, moving shipments from within a city and then across cities. Sounds simple, right? They, last year, had revenues of 80 lakh rupees. Ashish is all of 19. He dropped out after 12th from a government school in Delhi. He's promised me he's going back to college, but he's able to employ 35 people. And all with this simple nudge and trigger of go out and solve a real business problem with 2,000 rupees that the government gave him and his classmates to go try a business project. About 6 lakh students in India have received this small nudge of 2,000 rupees that's helped them go do something tangible and real. Here's a story of Padmavathi and Renuga, 9th standard girls in a school that's about 5 hours from Hyderabad, right, in rural Andhra Pradesh. They created a snake detector, a working snake detector. That's not a problem you and I think of. It's not what we want to solve. But for them, in rural Andhra Pradesh, this is an important problem. And they have gone ahead and not just thought about it, but actually solved it with infrared sensors. That, in my mind, is what's possible. If young people feel that they can be trusted, if young people feel that they can go on and solve problems with a little bit of nudge, trust from the society around them, they can go and do a lot. And then, if this starts happening, they go out in the world not feeling like failures. We don't have to think about our population as a liability, but this youth demographic dividend of ours becomes a real asset, taking them and India much further ahead. Thank you.